All right, living near the beach is absolutely amazing, but there are a few costs that surprise people when they move here. So today we're going to talk about the hidden costs of living near the beach. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Port Orange, Ponce Inlet, or Edgewater, then you've come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. This is my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff. We are local real estate experts, and we're here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, and Zoom nights every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. So let's get into it. Cost number one, the one that I get the most questions about, the one that we have to really do a deep dive in on, is cost of insurance. Number one, okay? So coastal insurance can be very high depending on location, okay? I'm not trying to scare you. That's not fear mongering. I say all the time, but I just want to be truthful and honest, and it's what you guys appreciate the most, I think, about us and our channel. So these factors are going to include your flood zone, your wind exposure, the home construction, and if we go under contract, what that 4-point inspection looks like. Okay, so you're a local real estate expert, so tell me what the 4 points going to cover.
It's going to cover the roof inspection,
Yep.
the air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical.
Yes, that's correct. So age of roof, what style of roof, it's, you know, do you have a lot of trees over it? That's something that we look for a lot, you know, like the trees are cut back. So the age of the roof.
I think that's really one of the most important things is age of the roof.
Yeah, age of the roof and condition. So, you know, at 15 years or greater, it's getting close to that past useful life, which is where the insurance cost is going to go up. So, and I have a couple that we helped from Salt Lake City that we went under contract and we got quote for insurance, and then it came back that the roof was 21 years old from the inspector and it needed to be replaced pretty soon, and their insurance costs jumped from $4,800 a month to over $4,800 a year to over $12,000 a year.
Wow.
And so they were like, well, holy smokes, we're going to roll that into our mortgage. That's $1,000 extra a month in a mortgage, which is a lot of money. So able to negotiate, we actually negotiated the price a little bit lower, and I got $20,000 in seller's credit for them to get a brand new roof. So there's ways around that kind of stuff, but you just have to watch out for that. And then also HVAC age, location, making sure it's away on the farther side of the house, making sure that the salt air isn't hitting it directly. And then the water heater is a really important one too, because the water heater, its location and its age. So if you got a new water heater in the garage, not a big deal whatsoever. You got an older water heater in the attic, you got a real big concern there. So
yeah. I would also say, just to add to your list, just real quickly, it's not one of the main points, but windows. Having older windows that are not the new hurricane impact windows really does help change the price on insurance as well. Yeah,
and windows can be fairly expensive, you know, depending on how many you have and what kind you're going to get. So it is something to look at, but you know, if you find, like Perry and Laura found the perfect home for them, and the windows are a little bit older and their exposure is in the south and the north of where the windows are, is not nearly as big of a concern of east and west. So they were able to overlook that because everything else was absolutely perfect.
All about location.
All about location in Sugar Mill for a smoking deal. That was a friggin' awesome.
It is awesome. I love it.
All right, so let's get into cost number two. Unexpected sometimes for people, but people don't understand salt air maintenance. Salt air is a real thing, and it can accelerate wear and tear on metal and metal roofs, air conditioning units, and outdoor fixtures. So, you know, actually, why don't you grab one of these real quick, design, and just show so you can see all the rust.
This has been sitting outside, actually not that long.
Yeah.
It's been about a month that I put these outside when we were like moving some of our decoration stuff around, and I forgot to bring it in, and that is what you got. The other one that's been inside that I just moved out here with all the other ones because that one's so rusted. This one's been in. It's only been out here for like, what, a week, and it's already starting to rust.
Yeah, a few weeks. So salt air maintenance is a real thing. So what you want to do is you want regular maintenance on things for salt air. You know, if you've ever watched any of those yachting shows, you know, below deck or anything like that, you see the deckhands literally scrubbing the yacht every single day, cleaning it multiple times a day. That's not something you have to do here, but pressure washing the outside of the home, making sure the roof is, is maintained, and making sure that you're cleaning off that air conditioning system. But make sure you pull the disconnect when you're cleaning the air conditioning. You don't want that system running, and you don't want to spray it too hard. As a previous air conditioning contractor, I can tell you that's a big no-no. So make sure that you're pulling the disconnect breaker at the disconnect box, and then that you're spraying it off slowly and gently. But nevertheless, it will buy you some time. And also say, if you're replacing the air conditioning system, go with a coastal covering. I know that Davis Brothers, which is, I'm very close with Clay Davis, owner of Davis Brothers HVAC, they're the biggest in Volusia County. They only put coastal units in, which have a longer lifespan. So just understand salt air maintenance is a thing. And also on your vehicles, even though we're a real estate channel, going out and making sure you're spraying your tires and you're spraying your car, and car washes are a big thing here.
They're very
and monthly memberships of the car wash is a big thing too. So salt air maintenance, though, is hidden cost number 2 on our list today. Okay, so cost number 3, this I think is all around the country, but I do want to talk about it specifically here. Cost number 3 is HOA fees. Many coastal communities have HOA fees, and that cover amenities and maintenance, but they can be high sometimes. So I was just talking to a couple yesterday from New York City that's coming down to Daytona Beach shores, and they were talking about, how do I know the difference in our condos? I mean, we're seeing 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot condos that are listed for $300,000. And then we're also seeing 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,200 square foot condos that are listed for $800,000. Where's that $500,000 discrepancy? And, obviously it's the building, and it's going to be the location, oceanfront versus non, but a lot of it is going to be the HOA fee. That $300,000 condo might have an HOA fee of $1,800 a month, which is a lot, while the $800,000 condo might only have HOAs of $350 a month. So that's a really, really big deal, $800 a month versus one versus the other. And so, there's just things that you have to pay attention to that you don't necessarily know. Then there's crazy places like Sugar Mill that you go to that you're like, well, of course, this is 36 holes of golf. This is a gorgeous community, guard gate, their HOAs are going to be high. And then Perry and Laura's house with $49.26 a month. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and also, speaking of communities like that, if you're moving into a community that's a master plan community, some of them actually have different HOA fees all within that same community. So you might have an HOA fee over the entire community and a separate one that you're paying just specifically for your area.
Again, that's true, and you just have to understand that and know that, but also don't steer away from something. I was showing yesterday Joe and Kim that came up from Boca to look at some places. I was showing them Florida Days, really just to show them the Mike Hickson build, not necessarily the community. And they're like, well, is there HOA here? And I said, yes, there is. And she's like, oh, I'm staying away from HOA. Well, I text my mom and said, hey, what's your HOA here? Because my parents live there in Florida Days. And my mom said $1,300 a year. Well, that's nothing. So I told Kim, I'm like, hey, just FYI, it's only $1,300 a year. And she's like, oh, well, then I want to move here. Like, all of a sudden it changed, because you're expecting this big
opinion on it, but then it's like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Which is crazy that Florida Days has $1,300 a month, and that community is unbelievable. Gated 24 hours, awesome houses, great lot, maintained beautifully. And I have a condo at Seascape Towers that has, and that's $1,300 a year, and I have a condo at Seascape Towers that have $1,800 a month.
Yeah, that's
an HOA fee. So,
wild.
It can be all over the place, and it's going to be all over the place. The point is, find out what it covers and why it's so high compared to something else. Are there reserves? Are there not reserves? Things like that. Because, again, condos, I'd say 98% of them with the HOA fee are going to cover cable, are going to cover insurance, are going to cover exterior maintenance, are going to cover termite bond, are going to cover sewer, trash, water. I mean, there's a lot of things that they cover, so it's a big trade-off. I'm paying this much, but I'm getting all this in return. But anyway, HOA fees, easily number 3 hidden costs that some people don't think about. Okay, let's get into cost number 4 when moving coastal is storm prep. It's preparing for storms, may include things like shutters, supplies, evacuation planning. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I think you covered, I think you pretty much covered what it is. But yeah, I mean, just make sure that you have all of your supplies, you've got gas in your car, you have a plan to get out if you absolutely feel like you need to, and that you have enough things for the after part. I think that's what some people forget about, is like, oh, I have all this prep supplies, but then I don't have all of the things that I need to do the cleanup afterwards, which is mostly just like trees, debris, that kind of stuff. And you're gonna fight a bunch of people in the store.
Yeah.
Or
and I would say that if you're planning on getting a generator like a Generac that's a whole home generator, then you want to shop this in non-hurricane season because the cost is going to be less. But also, you can get a generator for $500, $600 at Home Depot or Lowe's. But don't try to plan on shopping that in August in the middle of hurricane season. Shop that before. And it's gas powered. Make sure you have that extra gas, and you can power things like a window unit in the house or the refrigerator to keep your food good, you know, or your TV if you want to be entertained, because you could lose power for 48 to 72 hours. So just storm prep is a big thing. You know, you just want to make sure that you understand how that goes. But we were talking about this in another video. You really only need to go through a hurricane one time to
not be scared.
Understand what, to not be scared, but also understand what you're going to need for the next time around. Just don't be caught with your pants down on that first one. Okay, and then so cost number 5, which is higher property values. Okay, so now this is a beach town. I mean, this is, you know, and if you're moving to Ormond Beach, beachside, or Daytona Beach Shores, or Ponce Inlet, or New Smyrna Beach, and you're living beachside, be prepared for the houses to be more expensive. You know, and it's crazy. When I hear New Hampshire or Connecticut or Delaware or the Carolinas, people are like, holy cow, $800,000 for this small of a house. When I get people from California, New York, New Jersey, they're like, oh my gosh, I can get this much, this close to the beach for only this much. And there's a huge difference. Or like Boca, for example, you know, Joe and Kim are here and they live in Boca and they've lived there for 30 years. And now they're moving up here and they're like, oh my gosh, $1 million buys us a ton. This wouldn't buy us nearly as much down in Boca. So it really is relative on where you're going and where you're coming from. Yeah. But homes near the beach can carry a premium, and buyers have to make sure that they feel the lifestyle is worthwhile on the purchase, because that is what you're purchasing. You're purchasing a lifestyle. You're not going to get a huge mega mansion in Dallas, you know, that's 5,000 square feet for $600,000 like you're going to get, you know, there. You're going to get for $600,000 here, you're going to get a beach bungalow, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, you know, around 1,000 square feet. But you're going to be right next to the beach and you're going to have stuff to do all the time. Yeah,
and it's really, like you said, it's about lifestyle, it's about location. Now, everybody has a different budget. It's not to say that there aren't really larger homes beachside, but like they come with a premium price.
Sure, absolutely.
So, I mean they're here. You just are going to pay for it.
Yeah, our brokerage has an $8 million listing right now. That's 7,000 square feet and on the water, deep water dock on the Intracoastal. I mean, and this,
gorgeous.
So, you know, there are options. Not to say that they're, you know, they're all super expensive or all they're super cheap. It's just, you know, understand that there are higher property values when you get closer to the beach. That's the main thing. It's just some things that we wanted to bring up, again, especially for we live here, so we want to talk about the things that come up often with people that are from out of town. And if you're planning on moving to coastal Volusia County or anywhere else, reach out. We'd love to help you and be a resource for you. We are relocation experts, so even if it's not Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Edgewater, Port Orange, or New Smyrna Beach, but it may be somewhere else in the state of Florida or even in another state, reach out. I have resources all over the country and we help people, and I can connect you and pre-qualify you with somebody somewhere else so we make sure that you're being handled the right way. But if you are moving to coastal Volusia County, call us, because we get emails, text messages, phone calls, and Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, bye.